Hi guys, I thought I would start the new year off doing something I have not done before. And that is giving you a tour of the altar that I have in my house. And I know a whole lot of you have probably heard me talk about this altar on the Second Line show or interviews that I've done. And so I thought you might want to take a look around. And then we're going to do a little work in this altar to start the new year off right. So let's get started. So as you can see up here, I have got a couple of fantastic voodoo dolls, candles, lights, all that good stuff that you need. There is a juju here that I got from New Orleans, from Voodoo Authentica. And next to that is a spirit bottle. We'll talk about spirit bottles another time. So I just wanted to kind of let you know, there that is. I have got some lightning water, which will add some power to anything that you're working on. I also have stones with the four earth elements on it. The little tag there is a rabies tag. Yes, that's exactly what that is. But it is the tag from my super sweet Jack, my little kitten that I lost a little over a year and a half ago. So Jack hangs out on the altar with me as well. Also have some of the oils that I use very frequently and some droppers for those. A bone reading kit that I got in New Orleans that we will be working with later, so more on that. That's for some research that I'm doing for the third Crescent City book. And some fantastic spray that my dear friend Willow made for me. Anytime you've got anything hanging around the house that you don't want, some really heavy energy, then this is the stuff that you need. Also, let's get to what we're kind of working with now. There's some more things on there we'll talk about another time. So I have my little Buddha guy who's kind of hanging out there, but what he is looking over and keeping an eye on for me is my offering to Papa Legba. And in voodoo culture, we all have these illustrations that we do. For each of the Orisha, this is Papa Legba. And he has some cowrie shells that are sitting here, as well as some found coins. And Papa Legba, being partial to alcohol, has got some rum in a shot glass there, also from New Orleans. We've got some sage incense getting ready to burn, my spirit candle, also stones for the light and the dark, because we must have that balance. Also over here, a couple of things. We have a tiny little iron cauldron that I burn incense in. That is sitting on a rock because the desk that it's on is not fireproof, and so the cauldron can get hot if we're burning charcoal in it for very long. And so I want to make sure that it was on something that could take the heat. So it's just sitting on a stone that I found. Also, here is an offering that I did a while back. It is dried rose petals, and the rose petals came from a rose that was given to me. There is some rose quartz there and also some stone from the White Cliffs of Dover. And this was, as many of you know, I am not married and have no one in my life at the moment. And of course, who wants that with COVID anyway at this point? That's kind of a weird prospect. But anyway, just thought we would kind of see what the future holds. And so I put some crushed rose petals in a candle. Burned that candle. I put the White Cliffs of Dover there because I'm a sucker for anybody with a British accent, as anyone knows. My love of all things British comedies, British anything, pirates, you know, that's kind of my thing. So the White Cliffs of Dover seem to make sense there, as well as the dried rose. And so if you can see, after that candle burned out and all of the crushed rose petals kind of did their thing in there, the little heart of the rose petals was left behind. I did not put that heart there. The spirits did that for me. And so it kind of let me know, hey, love is out there. You'll find it eventually. Patience, my dear. Also, what we have here in this little pouch under the selenite is my tarot cards that I work with sometimes. We'll talk about tarot a little later as well. The selenite just keeps their energy clear. And so here is what we're going to be working with in just a little bit. Oh, that is some sea salt. Always need some sea salt. And lots of times I have different types of water. Like I said, this is lightning water. So this water was set outside during a lightning storm. And so it has absorbed some of the energy of the lightning. All right, so let's get some stuff on the table and let's get to work. Okay, as you can see, I've moved some things around. And this is going to give me some space to work. I can always put it back. Since I'm starting this new year off, the first thing that I'm going to do is cleanse the space. So what I have here in this spray bottle, a really simple spray bottle, come on guys, it's not that hard, is Florida water. We don't need anything really complex to do this kind of work, but every now and then you need something specialized, like the little spray bottle I got at Walmart. Shout out to Walmart and their 97-cent spray bottle. But what's inside of it is Florida water and regular water. And Florida water goes way, 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 way back. It was a cologne for a while, but it also does other things. And so in this tradition, what I'm doing is I am spraying everything down with the Florida water. And just a light sprinkling of it will cleanse kind of the old and kind of refresh things, get rid of some of that negative energy that we had with us over this past year. And we want to get rid of that. So got that done, and I do that periodically or anytime I bring any new items into this space after they've been cleansed. I'll kind of cleanse that space too to kind of, it's like pushing a reset button on anything, I guess. So now we're going to light our white sage. Sage is great for cleansing a space. And so we want to do that. And also what I'm going to do is light my spirit candle as well. Sometimes the spirits can be a little fussy with me. They don't always want to come. The candle doesn't always want to light. And I'm going to put this candle, since it is hot, in the incense burner there. And I'm going to move my matches out of the way for now. So we have got some white sage burning that will help to clear this space, cleanse the energy around. It's great to burn sage anytime you feel that you need some refreshing in your life, your energy. And so starting a new year, let's burn some sage, right? So we're going to call the spirits in here. And one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to burn a candle that is going to also light our bay leaf for us. And the bay leaf, I'll explain in just a minute. But the first thing we need to do is dress the candle. So to dress a candle, what you're going to need are any oils, any herbs, any ingredients that are going to help serve your purpose for what you want that candle to be. It's setting an intention for that candle. And so the intention of this candle is to bring good things into the new year. So I have some oils that I have gotten at Aroma G's Botanica, not a sponsor. Love them though, they're fantastic. And this is a handmade oil, and if you can see in there, let's see if I can get it where you can see things floating around in it. That's because the ingredients are in the oil, and so it's infusing that oil for its purpose. This one is Unleash Creativity, something any writer definitely needs. And this one is Success. And if you look closely at this one, you'll notice that St. Peter is on here, and that is because, like I've mentioned in so many places that I've talked about this, the voodoo traditions and Catholic traditions in Louisiana, in New Orleans, blend together. And so we call on the Catholic saints as much as we call on the Orisha for various things. And so this is St. Peter's Success Oil. So here's what we're gonna do. And take our little eyedropper. You can use the bottle if you're coordinated. I'm not. So I'm going to use the eyedropper, and I'm going to put 3 drops of the Success Oil. I'm going to change my eyedropper. Don't want to mix the oils there. I don't want to cross purposes, right? And so here is my one for the Creativity Oil. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. I'm going to pull a little of that oil. We're going to do 3 dots here. All right. So I want this particular oil to work for me in that way. Now I'm going to get the eyedropper for Success back and the Success Oil, because we're going to use it for something else here in a second. I am going to put back my Unleash Creativity because I have served the purpose for that here. Okay, so now we kind of put our own energy into this, our own thoughts about what we want this candle to do for us and what intention as it burns do we want to send to the universe, to the ancestors, to whatever your intention whoever needs to pay attention to your intention. And so for me, I'm going to send this out into the universe because I am looking for something that is a bit more kind of widespread here. I can ask anybody that I want, whether it's a saint, whether it is any religion of your choosing, Orishas, there's lots of people. I do want Papa Legba, who opens the crossroads, to kind of be part of this intention, because that's his job, is to guard the crossroads and kind of let you through to those new things, open doors to new opportunities and new places, things that may be good for you. And so he kind of guards that. And so you were asking him to open that door. And so because I'm asking kind of the universe and Papa Legba, we're going to put a hand over each one of these things. So I'm focusing the intention here, but I'm also drawing Papa Legba kind of into this with me. And so my spirit candle and Papa Legba, who's over here, is going to be part of this. And so you kind of quietly center yourself and let that intention go into the piece that you are creating. There. It doesn't take very long. You can do it quietly. You can do it out loud, however you want to do it. For me, I kind of just let that be my own thoughts. Spirits don't work like we do. They don't need me to say it out loud for them to know. There is some power in your voice. There is some power in your words. But also, you don't necessarily have to say it out loud either. So, I am going to light my candle. Now, I could use my spirit candle to light this candle, but because of the oils on it and because I'm kind of keeping them where they are, I am going to use a separate match. There you go. Don't blow out a match. Shake it out, pinch it out, whatever you're going to do. All right, so here we go. Sorry, here we go. So for the bay leaf, and you use a lot of things here. You use toothpicks. You can use anything that you're gonna put your intention into. And a friend of mine, Annie, she does shaman work, and she uses a toothpick for the same purpose. I've always used a bay leaf, and that's just what I've always done. So what I do with a bay leaf, and I know my friend Willow does bay leaves as well. So I'm going to write what I want to send into the universe on this bay leaf. And then I'm going to burn that, and very much like incense smoke, it's carrying the intention kind of out and away from me and taking it somewhere that it needs to go. So for me, what I'm looking for is peace, prosperity, and love. And sort of just whatever comes to you that you feel like that you need. Sometimes you are releasing negativity and you may want to write down positive things. If you want to turn this process on its head a little bit and look at it more of a purging and a cleansing, then you can set that intention that that's what you're trying to do, and then write the things that you need to release away from you. But be very clear about what your intention is. You don't want to put those negative things out there as things that you're trying to say, hey, universe, I want these things. So make sure your intention is very clear. And so what I'm going to do, I love the crackle of the bay leaves as they burn. I'm going to just let it burn. It's a very earthy smell. I'm going to hold on to this as long as I can, which I don't want to be, in any danger here, especially with acrylic nails. And then I'm going to put it in the incense burner to let that finish kind of simmering out there a little bit. It'll continue to kind of glow and burn and release that intention out into the world for me. Now, I am going to leave this candle burning. I am not going to blow this candle out. It will sit on the altar and it will burn until it is gone. And that will let all of the spirits that be know. There we go. Let that kind of do its thing. Let those spirits know that that intention is carrying on, much like you might light an altar candle in a church. You're doing exactly the same thing. You're going to leave that candle to burn kind of as your continued prayer. Now, another thing that we're going to do today, because it is New Year's, is we are going to dress this candle as well. And this is a chime candle. This is different than the tea light, obviously, different shape. It is not a taper candle. Notice it is the same all the way down. These tend to evaporate as they burn. They're not always great at not making a mess. They're supposed to be kind of mess free, but they're not always good at that. And so to keep from kind of ruining the altar cloth, I do kind of set it on a small kind of jar lid just so it can catch any of the wax that may go where it's not supposed to. So here's the thing about dressing a chime candle. You want to make sure that you have whatever herbs you want, whatever oils you want, kind of ready to go. Again, paper plate, nothing fancy here in this stuff, guys. We don't need fancy equipment. So what I have, well, I have the lid. We'll get the lid later, is my success oil, okay? St. Peter again. And I'm going to put some on my fingertip here. Put that over there. Rub my fingers together. And I'm wanting to draw things to me with this. This is a green candle. It's going to symbolize money, success, prosperity, things like that. Colors do have meaning in all of this. So I am going to pull my fingers with the oil on it from the base of the candle up to the wick. And I'm going to do that and dress this candle as much as I feel that it needs. That was not quite enough oil on my fingers, so I'm going to go back to it, get a little bit more. I was really more concerned with where the cap went than how much oil I had on my fingers. And I'm going to pull it up. If this was something I was wanting to cast out, I would do the reverse. I would start at the top and I would work my way down because I'm trying to pull it away from me. But I am trying to pull these things to me. All right. So now there's a lot of different things you can put on here for success, and a whole lot of this kind of work is what feels good to you, what feels right to you. There's some traditions that have certain ingredients, and you can adhere to that all you want. For me, I am wanting kind of a financially, good year. I would love to continue to kind of be independent and have the money to do the things that I want, find success in my books, in my work, all the things that I do. Now, because I'm looking for this to be kind of a fresh beginning, I have put here some fresh mint. Now, this mint came from my garden a while back, and I have kept it in this little jar. And so all I did was take some mint leaves and I crushed it up on this plate. Now what I'm going to do with the oil on here, it's going to actually allow the herbs to stick to the candle. And if you have read the Crescent City books, they do this in the books as well. And so once I have it coated where I feel good about it, and really it's kind of intuition and what you feel good about, then I'm going to place this candle in the chime candle holder there. Keep it straight up. Move this extra stuff out of the way that I don't need anymore. Put my eyedropper back. You may have noticed that this, basically it's a necklace that's sitting here. Now what's important about this necklace is not the necklace itself. What's important about it is this little piece right here. This little piece right there is a python vertebrae. It is a baby python vertebrae. And my very good friend who owns Starling Magical down in New Orleans, I got this from her. It was from natural causes. This poor python was not killed for this, the vertebrae. It did just die on its own. But the vertebrae is here because this is a very important thing. Pythons think before they strike. And so the vertebrae here is to remind me that in any endeavors that I might be wanting to start or begin or find myself involved in as I go into the future and finding this success, I need to make sure that I think it through first. Don't just leap in. And so I have the python vertebrae here for that purpose. Kind of help remind me of that as we go. All right, so back to the matches again. And so I'm gonna kind of straighten my little guy up here. Let's let him evaporate more than melt. That would be great. Don't want to make such a huge mess. And we will light this candle as well. Kind of as we light it, or kind of before as you're rolling it around in the herbs, you can set your intention. We've talked through that. I believe that the spirits that be have heard me have this conversation. And so I ask them very humbly to hear my wishes, hear my intention, and help me follow through. And I'm going to leave that to go out on its own in the incense burner. All right, so I have my 2 candles burning. They will continue to burn on their own. I'm going to kind of bring them together here. They are essentially working for the same purpose. So I'm going to leave them kind of sitting with a little lump in the altar cloth there, so I want to make sure it's gonna sit flat. All right, and so we can kind of put our hands over this. We can think about our intentions, center ourselves, find that inner part of us that truly wants this, because that's honestly what it's all about. It's about how much you are willing to give, not just what you are willing to get. And so be thinking about your part in all of this. You can't just simply throw this out to the universe and say, okay, now do your thing. You're responsible for all of this as well, these intentions and what becomes of them. You can set this intention to the universe and ask for things, but know that nothing comes to you for free and without work. And so be thinking about what it is that you bring to the process and how you are going to help the universe and be open to what the universe and all of the guides, spirits, ancestors, God, everybody is going to help bring to you. You have to be open to it. You have to work with what you're given. And so take a moment, center, and sometimes you can say things out loud as you go. Things like, I am worthy, I am open, I accept the gifts that are given to me because I am worthy. And then you will let the candle, big and small, each burn out on their own. The spirit candle, you can leave to guard it, to guard your work if you want. This is spirit candle. It's inviting the spirits, those that are around you, God, angels, whoever it is that you need to come and kind of watch over the work that you do to ensure that it is done in love and light. Have them kind of watch over the work for you for a while if you'd like. Otherwise, you may blow that candle out. Actually, it's best not to blow the candle out. Air and breath are used for a lot of things, and so many traditions hold that it is disrespectful to blow out a candle. I tend to burn myself when I try to pinch them out, and so I tend to ask forgiveness as I blow the candles out and assure them that I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just not good at pinching a candle out. I will, again, ask forgiveness. In all respect, I extinguish this candle and leave these to burn on their own. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed this little peek into my world and what I've learned and embraced as I have researched for the Crescent City books. So, Happy New Year. May the blessings of the universe fall abundantly upon you. Be well.